Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I will be reading a Neuvillette Listener by me. So let's get into it. The downpour starts as you leave the grand halls of the opera because footsteps echoing through the empty corridors. The rain was relentless, coming down in sheets, filling Fontaine streets with a melancholy so deep that it seeps into your very bones. You don't need to look up into the skies to understand the meaning of this. You feel it in the way the droplets land, heavier than usual, like they carry the weight of something more than the clouds. Not to mention, we know what the rain means. We know what it has to be. Neuvillette, you can only think of the argument as it replays in your mind, each word sharper than the last. It had started with something absolutely trivial, perhaps about duty, about the boundaries he imposes upon himself. And you had pushed, hoping he would open up a little bit, let you in just a little more. But he had shut down, a distant look in his eyes, the polite yet impenetrable facade slipping into place. One too many times had he deflected, guarding his emotions like a fortress. Perhaps he was unsure of how to process them or how to share them with others. But that didn't mean he wouldn't be hurt by the act. And now, here you were. The skies were pouring their sorrow, his unspoken feelings spilling out in a torrent. You know the truth, even if he has not voiced it himself. There is a reason people tell the Hydra Dragon not to cry whenever it rains, and you're no idiot. However, you know you cannot leave it like this. You can't leave him like that. So, braving the rain, you make your way back. The droplets cold against your skin, but you do not falter. The patter of the rain leads you to him, like an echo that brings you to the very source. And you find him right where you both parted ways, standing alone, head tilted slightly, as he watches the endless stream of rain outside the window. He does not turn when he senses you there. His gaze remains on the storm outside, his expression unreadable. Neuvillette, you say softly, stepping closer, though you keep a respectful distance. I know I pushed too hard. There is a long silence before he replies, his voice quiet, carrying a heaviness that feels like thunder waiting to rumble. You have nothing to apologize for. It is I who struggles to convey what I feel. His fingers brush against the window pane, tracing patterns in the condensation. You watch as he gathers his thoughts, a subtle vulnerability in the way he stands, shoulders slightly tense, and it's rare to see him like this. So human, and so unsure. Emotions, they are foreign to me, even now. They are something I merely observe, something I understand through others. But when they're my own, he trails off, the words slipping from his grasp like water through his fingers. And you take a small step closer, encouraged by his openness, your voice gentle. You don't have to understand everything at once. Feelings are confusing, even for those of us who are used to them. Neuvillette's gaze finally meets yours, and you can see the weight of his sorrow reflected there. The rain outside seems to slow, softening to a gentle rhythm, as if waiting for your words. When I look at the rain, when I feel this ache, I know it's connected to something I cannot name, and it lingers here, in my heart, and I am powerless to stop it. The only thing I know is that it began with you, and I cannot bear the weight of disappointing you. His confession surprises you. For all his poise and control, he rarely allows himself to be this vulnerable. And so you take his hand, fingers brushing over his, grounding him. Neuvillette, it's alright to feel. It's alright to struggle with things you can't fully understand yet. You don't disappoint me. I doubt you could ever do. I only wanted to see you open up. To see the parts of you that you guard so closely. He sighs, and the tension slowly eases from his posture, though the doubt remains in his eyes. You asked me to share what it weighs upon me, and yet I resisted. I felt as though sharing such things would only burden you, but it seems I miscalculated. Being with you could never be a burden. I'm here because I love you. All of you. And that includes the storms that you carry, and the rain that you bring. The rain outside eases even more. The steady drizzle now soft, like a gentle lullaby. Your presence. It is like sunlight breaking through those endless clouds. I've never known peace in this way before. And so you must understand, Wayan. I am worried about losing that. So I'm being careful. Perhaps I'm still learning what it means to trust, to open myself with others. But with you I'm willing to try, he says. And for a long while, the two of you simply stay like that, the quiet settling around you, as the two of you stayed in each other's arms. He knew that the two of you needed to talk, and you had many things you wanted to work on, to be more deserving of you, to be a better person for you. But for now, he was more than grateful to have you in his arms, and to know at the end of the day, you would stick together, no matter how many fights you've had.